Okay, in this video what we're going to do is we're going to talk about gaming. Usually that's about the fourth or fifth video in a series. If you've watched other things, I usually get you on the desktop, get upgraded, walk around a little bit, and then we start talking about gaming. So in this series though, we are going to do something a little different. This is gaming, but at the same time, there has been some massive changes in how WineHQ works on newer versions of Ubuntu and Debian testing. So I don't know what the outcome of this video is going to be. Unlike others where I'm like, okay, install step 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, look, gaming. In this video, we are going to test and see if the new way of doing things actually works, especially in our development version of Kubuntu 26.04 LTS, which again has not been released yet as of this recording. So let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? Okay, so on this sheet right here, on this page right here, in the preparation stage, it wants you to cat etc os release, and you're going to look for Ubuntu codename, and that will become relevant a little later. However, we have to modify these instructions a little bit because 26.04 has not been released yet. So we may have to do some finagling, use slightly older repositories, and go from there. So we're going to skip this step here, and we're just going to go straight down to the wine repository. We're going to go ahead and copy this and paste it over here. Enter password. As soon as I get the cable out of the way. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our key file and install it. Okay, so here's the note that we're looking at here. The WineHQ packages for 25.10 and Debian testing are WOW64. Therefore, the 32-bit packages are no longer necessary. The new WOW64 can run 32-bit programs from a 64-bit wine prefix, but it cannot use 32-bit wine prefixes. If you have any 32-bit wine prefixes from a previous installation, you will need to reinstall your 32-bit applications to a 64-bit wine prefix. Older versions of Ubuntu and Debian still require the 32-bit architecture to be enabled. However, we're looking at Ubuntu 26.04, which is newer than 25.10. So the 25.10 installation instructions should work for the 26.04. Even though they're not explicitly listed here, we're going to use them anyway. So that's part of the test, is to see if this is actually going to work. So we're going to copy and paste that, enter. And we don't need to worry about anything else in here. We're going to just scroll down here. The next thing to do is to do an apt update. Copy and paste because I'm lazy. And for this, we're going to grab the staging branch. That way we keep things as new and as fresh as possible. We're using development software everywhere, so we might as well stick with the development branch. And of course, right now we come across a problem. So that problem is WineHQ staging, listing, but it's not going to be downloaded. Unable to satisfy dependency, reach 2 conflicts. Wine install. Staging AMD 64 depending on lib AV codec 61 greater than or equal to 7.0, but none of those choices are available. Okay, let's see if we can back off to a different version here. Maybe it just doesn't like the staging. Now let's try stable. All right, so it looks like a stable branch kicked in. So for now, we're just going to stick with the stable. We're not touching the development or the staging. Apparently, the libraries or the codecs that it needs, the AV libs, is not available currently. And that's okay. That could be because of the difference between Ubuntu 25.10 and Ubuntu 26.04. It could be, just guessing there. So we're going to go ahead and call that done. Everything else down here is just the help. It shows you where to go get help and some of the most common things that happen. Now, this is the easy part as far as Ubuntu goes, and that is when it comes to when it comes to Steam and Lutris, to be honest with you. Let's do Lutris first. We'll go ahead and fully test this. Lutris.net is what we're looking for. Those of you who don't know, Lutris is actually it's laid out kind of like Steam. However, it's not a gaming platform. It is a platform on the subject of gaming, but these are actually scripts used to install games, Windows games, onto Linux kind of thing. You're not going to get the games from Lutris, unlike on Steam, where you can go in and purchase and download the games. These are the installer scripts for games you already legally own. So let's go ahead and go to download. It's super easy on Ubuntu because they have their own package in here. So we're just going to grab that. And we're going to test this one to see if it's also capable of handling 26.04. I'm going to Control L to clear the screen. CD to our downloads and do an ls. You can see it's the only file in here. So sudo apt install /Lutris. And we'll go ahead and let that run. Looks like it's pulling in some 32-bit libraries anyway. I've seen one or two of them, like this one right here. This is probably because the i386 architecture is already installed. It comes that way from Ubuntu. So if I were to disable that and then truly yank out all of the 32-bit libraries and all the 32-bit files, it might cause some serious breakage. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it alone. We're still going to follow the instructions as it was on the website. We did not do the 32-bit wine. We do have a 32-bit system. We have our multi-arch system, which means it has multiple architectures. In this case, AMD 64 and 32-bit as i386. But we're leaving the system alone. We're just not going to install anything related to wine in a 32-bit flavor. All right, we're going to go ahead and ignore this notice down here. I've said this before in previous videos. This is not anything to do with the installation of the packages. That permission denied is from apt because we are installing packages from a non-traditional path. They usually, when you run apt, it downloads the deb files, puts it in a temp directory, and installs them from there. And this is apt just complaining because we are in our home directory and not a temp directory. So we can safely ignore that. All right. So from there, let's go ahead and do Steam. Steampowered.com. And we're going to do an install. When you download this here, I've said it in other playlists, but I'm going to repeat myself because nothing guaranteeing that you've seen the other videos. When you install Steam client, you need to make sure that the Steam button, this blue Steam button, has the Steam logo on it. And not the Windows, Mac, or Chromebook icon on it. This is auto-detected through your browser. Also, when you point at it and you look in the lower left-hand corner down here above your Start button, you'll see that that path ends in steam.deb. Okay, and that's exactly what we want on a Debian-based distribution such as Debian, of course, Linux Mint, Ubuntu, or anything else that is based on Debian. So we'll go ahead and grab that one real quick. And we will also install it while we're in downloads. Control O clears the screen. ls to list our files. So we're going to do a sudo apt install /Steam. And of course you can type the first few characters and hit tab to complete. We'll go ahead and let that install. And of course that's pulling in 32-bit architecture too. So apparently we can't completely get away from having a 32-bit or a multi-arch system if we were going to install absolutely everything. I think that if we were to start with, like, say, a pure 64-bit version of, like, say, Debian or something, and installed Wine and then Steam on top of that, we might be able to stay away from the 32-bit libraries. But as it currently is, that's not fully the case. But again, Ubuntu starts out as a multi-arch anyway. So that might be where the dependencies or the expectations are coming from. Control L clears the screen. And that's it for the installations. We're going to go ahead and close all of those. I'm not sure if a restart is required or not after doing this, but we're going to go ahead and restart anyway. So we'll go ahead and let that run. I found that when in doubt, restart. It's usually cleaner. Even if something was modified, it's still cleaner. So we'll go ahead and let that reboot. Come on. For a second I thought it powered off, but it didn't. All right, so we'll go ahead and put our password back in. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to open up Lutris first here real quick. It's going to download some things that it also needs, like Voodoo, DXVK, Pizza, and some Ubuntu utilities. So we're going to let it finish. There we go. Before we go any further, we want to check preferences in here. Go to Runners. Go down to Wine. Open that config. And this is okay for it to be on the latest version of Proton. If that wasn't there, you'd want to make sure that a newer version of Wine was available to it. All right, so we'll go ahead and close that. I happen to play Diablo. It's one of my favorite games, but it's Diablo 3 that I play. So we're going to see if this actually installs real quick. If it doesn't install, that's fine. I'm not going to go through and try to troubleshoot it in this video. I'm just curious. I want to see if it actually works the way WineHQ says it should. That being said, though, this glorious egg roll, this Wine GE Proton, this is its own version of Wine. So it may not even hit the version of Wine that's installed at the system level. So it may be just using its own thing. And it requires Wine in the background for like extra stuff like libraries and wine tricks and all that. There we go. All right. So at least it at least started the installer for BattleNet. Let's see if it gets stuck at the infamous 45%. Nope, it did not. That's good. Let's see if it goes ahead and installs everything like it's supposed to. I'm going to move this window out of the way while it's installing. If you read this box right here underneath installing the Blizzard app, it says do not attempt to log into BattleNet. Once BattleNet has finished installing and the login window appears, simply close it. You will log in the next time you start the app. So we will do that. When the login screen pops up, we'll just close it. And that's going to be the login screen. I'm going to see if it's going to actually load. Yep, it loads. So we're going to close that like our instructions say. And we have to give it a second and it'll let us know when it's done. System upgrade notifications. Okay. Okay. System notification helper. We're not going to start Steam. Exit with return code 0 is perfect. That's exactly what we should be seeing. Waiting for it to finish. All right, there we go. That's exactly what we should see. I'm going to go ahead and close all of this out. Now I'm going to double click to see if it'll open. If the login screen pops back up, then the application has started. So we'll go ahead and close it at that point. All right. So at least it's installed and it opens. I'm pretty sure the game's going to play. I use Lutris on a daily basis and have for more than a decade. So, all right, so let's do Steam. Let's see what this is going to do. This is normal. The first time you start Steam, it's going to go through and it's going to verify that everything, all the packages it requires are installed. So we're going to put our password in. All right. Steam needs to install additional packages, and these have some i386 libraries in them. So apparently that little message that we've seen on the WineHQ page pertains to Wine itself, not other platforms that depend upon Wine, such as Steam or Lutris or anything like that. Okay, come on. Let's steam it up. Okay, there's the login window. Give me just a second. I'm going to pause this while I get logged in. Okay, so now that I've put my username and password in there, which is not really information I want to share, we will go ahead and let this finish loading its user data. Just like a lot of other things, the first time this stuff logs in or signs in, it's got to do a bunch of stuff in the background. So first startups might be longer than normal. So we'll go ahead and let it run. Okay, we will go ahead and close that window. And I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to install the games currently, but apparently this opened just fine. So I assume everything is going to work. So let's go ahead and install it. But I'm not going to sit here and make y'all wait for this to finish installing, because it's got to download and then it's got to do its config and then it's got to load things and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I think the answer has been answered. I think the question's been answered, that as far as Wine is concerned, 32-bit containers are no longer required except for older applications that absolutely demand 32-bit. But as far as platforms such as Steam or Lutris or whatnot, they still expect 32-bit. So being able to get away from multi-arch operating systems at this moment in time does not look like it's a viable thing. Kudos to Wine for trying, and hopefully the rest of technology catches up to it. So anyway, if you like these videos and like to see more, make sure you click like and subscribe.